Every single one of us lives as if we're gonna always have another day. You know, how we're always feeling like there's gonna be another year, another month, another Monday, just another chance at life every single day. But the truth is, none of us know exactly how much time we really have. We're constantly seeming to live on autopilot. And I've slowly come to realize that I've been stuck in that trance too. We wake up, we go to work, we scroll, eat, sleep, and repeat. When was the last time you actually stopped and asked yourself if you're living the life you really want to? And I've had to come to this realization several times in my life, and I expect it to happen plenty more. I've constantly let other people try to shape my life whenever that wasn't really what I wanted to do. I wanted to be in control. Hence why I've dropped things like weed, nicotine, or even letting people give input on how I should be living. And to be quite honest, that's pretty lame. We let other people decide our lives all the time. Constant social expectations, family expectations, corporate cultures from different work outlets, social media comparisons, or just plain out fear of being judged. And that's just not a good mentality to have in life. You're supposed to feel carefree and, well, free. It's scary how easy it is to spend your entire life chasing someone else's definition of success. And if you're doing that, like I have in the past, you're not really living your own life. You're living your life through the eyes and culture of what someone else is expecting you to live it in. That's not you. And it wasn't me either. I had to come to that realization through trial and error, just like most other people. I still deal with those problems too, and I'm slowly fixing them, just like how I've talked about here on this channel. I mean, I've slowly kind of dropped my screen time through the endless scrolling I used to constantly do. And while I may not be perfect at it, like most people aren't, I'm still trying. And I've dropped bad habits from my past, just like smoking weed and smoking nicotine constantly led me into a fatigue of not wanting to get things done. And it's not that those things necessarily make you lazy. I'm sure there's plenty of high functioning people out there that still use it or have used it in their past. But for me, it made me not want to do things. It took all urge to get things done away. And staying in toxic situations like bad workplaces or just horrible friendships that led on dependencies that weren't healthy don't help me at all, and they never did. So avoiding that change really created a big roadblock for me. I had to come to those realizations. But being stuck in those experiences wasn't just the glue that was holding me in place at life. It was me letting it happen. And I had to make the decision to make those changes so that I could live the life that I can focus on the life that I really want. And that's something that I really had to dig down deep and understand. I mean, just like everyone else, it's your first time living, and it's also quite possibly your last from what we know it as. So you might as well live it to the best and the fullest of your own capabilities in your own feet, in your own shoes. So if today really repeated itself every day for the next 10 years, would you be proud of where you'd end up? Or is it something that you wish you had done differently? Because that's something that you need to really focus on and something that I need to focus on as well so that I can make a better future for myself. And I hope others can take something away from that as well. And you have to constantly think about the one day at a time, each step counts from failure to success. If you haven't tried enough and you've only succeeded, then you never failed. And if you never failed, then you really never tried enough. Because it really does take failure to learn from, because you learn the most from those things. You don't learn whenever you only win. You learn from whenever you mess up, and then you understand it better. You don't waste your life all at once either. You waste it one ordinary day taken for granted at a time. So count your blessings because you never know what's going to happen in the future, and you never know if you even have one at all. I had to come to that understanding so many times. I've had plenty of near death experiences from nearly dying in car crashes or being drugged or under the influence of alcohol when I shouldn't have been, and all sorts of different scenarios in my life. I've had to really understand that every moment you have is truly a blessing, and you have to take it in as a memorable understanding of life. You can't just take everything for granted. And that's something that a lot of people really do nowadays, especially with social media and the internet. Everything just seems so, I guess, short. Nothing really has longevity anymore. We constantly strive and live off of 15-second TikTok clips, and life just passes by. That 15 seconds, somebody just lost someone in their life. Somebody just watched another person get murked on Twitter. And these things don't just happen out of nothing. This is literally life happening, flashing right before our eyes with the RGBs from our phones or our laptops or consoles or computers, whatever it may be that you're using. And people take all these things for granted. Life truly is one step and one breath at a time. And you have to count every single one because you don't know what's going to happen. And nobody does. Really, whenever things get bad, too, you have to at least accept that bad things are happening, and it's not always going to be like that either. There has to be ups and downs all the time. There's a quote that I got tattooed recently from Symbols, and it may be somewhat religious, but I don't really care at this point. But it's God is greater than all the highs and all the lows. And I feel like that's something that really resonates with me too, because being a type 1 diabetic, I have to constantly strive through my highs and lows. Whether that's focus on getting enough sugar in my system so that I can get my blood sugar back up, or taking insulin and stabbing myself and hoping that I don't just start bleeding again and have to go through the anger and frustration of having to deal with that too. And I had to really ask myself certain things like, what's the worst situation that I've been in, physically or mentally? And most people, like myself, never even thought of it being right now in the answer, because it's not. Things are always going to be better in the future. If you take it one way or another, one step at a time, things will change. And it will change for the better if you're making the right decisions. Hence why I made the decisions I've been making recently, like quitting weed or even doing this YouTube stuff and expressing myself online in a way that I hope others can learn from, or something that I can at least hold myself accountable for. I'm really glad that you guys have been supportive throughout all of this, and I really hope to have many years down the line to have even more to go about. And I'm not in some sort of depressive stage or anything like that, you guys. I just really have been thinking about life recently on a kind of a connective level, I guess you could say. And I guess it's because that freaking raccoon Jimothy that I've been seeing all over social media. Thinking about everybody loves this little guy. I mean, he's just the most adorable little thing. But I guarantee that little raccoon has no idea that the world is watching him. Just in the same as a lot of people are right now. They have no idea that other people are watching them, no matter their situation, and maybe they're comparing themselves to that. Maybe you're comparing yourself to others. And most people don't even realize that all these outside things are happening from a third perspective or third person POV, I guess, and you have no idea. So I guess we really do need to start being a little bit more self conscious about our lives, because the more you think about it, the more you could fall into that depth trap that is going to constantly weigh in on, you know, overthinking or making yourself be in a negative mood. And you've got to kind of understand that it's not always bad. Other people have lived worse, and outside of comparisons, you've been through worse yourself. And just like that question asked, when was the last time or when was the worst time that things have been for you? It's not right now, and it won't ever be. It's always going to be in your past. And even if you have the anxieties of worrying about your future, just let it go. Pray to God and, you know, focus on the things that are there for right now, because that's what we really have. The future is going to give you anxiety, the past is going to give you depression. But if you live in the present, it's going to be a gift. Shout out Master Uguay. Besides that, to tie it all up, none of us really get more than one life. We don't know how long we're going to get to live it, so maybe the goal isn't to live perfectly. Maybe it's simply to stop living on autopilot. Stop letting outside things control your life. Go out and live it. Travel to that country you've never been to. Eat that dish that you've always wanted and never ordered from the restaurant. Drive that super cool car, at least safely. Don't do dumb drugs and don't let other people control it. Start going to the gym. Make that phone call. Hug your grandma, hug your mom, hug your brothers or sisters. Say hello to your neighbor. Give a smile to the girl that you like. I don't know. Tell people that you love them. Learn the skills that you always wanted to. Build a life that feels meaningful to you because no one else can live it for you. I'm not meaning to sound like the next AIDS around here, but invest in yourself. Quit the habits that no longer served you or build something for yourself that really helps your future out. I'm not trying to sound like generic motivation here, but I'm trying to just reflect on what I've lived through and what might actually help out. So if this resonates with you, go ahead and let me know. And if you feel like you're living someone else's version of success, make that change. I hope this video really gives anyone a new perspective, and leave it down in the comments of what you're going to be doing to maybe make that next step, or what blessings you've counted on recently that really have helped you learn a new perspective that lets you appreciate the world a little bit more. I appreciate every single one of you guys, and I will catch you in the next one.